This podcast is produced by OnPod, a video content studio near you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to OnPod Studios. Today we're here with Merveille. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing good, thanks.
Thanks.
So I guess we'll just jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
So what drew you to specialize in human resources, and how has that shaped the way you see the workplace?
So what drew me to go into HR was first off my nature as a person. I would say I'm really much of a people's person, not in a social kind because I'm more of an introvert, but I just love to be around people and assisting them to get better at whatever they're doing as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look into the business world, that's where I fit in most. And that's where I feel like my personality can bring more positivity into that field. So that's why I went into HR.
Nice, yeah. Being helpful and bringing people together and making sure everyone gets along. That's
For sure, yes.
nice. Okay, cool. From your experience so far, what do you see as the biggest gaps or pain points in today's workforce that HR professional needs to address?
So at my level currently, what's the one thing that I would say is first, the stigmatization that is with, HR. When we hear HR, we have more of like a rude or angry person and just there for the company and not the employees.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And so that and the reality, the gap is really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really love to see more HR professionals, I wouldn't say try to prove wrong, but actually live up to what HR actually is,
Mm-hmm.
instead of always proving the stigmatization right, or always trying to be like, oh, I'm not the bad guy. Actually, like, I want more actions from the HR professionals to create a safer space for employees in the workplace.
Yeah, for sure. Do this if you actually want to, portray that value, right?
Exactly, yes.
Nice. How can HR bridge the gap between organizational needs and employee well-being in a way that's sustainable?
So the relationship I would compare to HR and employees is like a big sister and her siblings. I am an older sister myself. I have 4 younger siblings.
Oh my goodness.
So there are a lot of times when I might tell them to do something, and as younger people, they might, get angry or be like, I don't want to do that. That's not so cool. That's not blah, blah, blah. But I always redirect them, but in love, never be like, there's no need to be rude to someone.
Mm-hmm.
If you want them to do better for themselves, or if you feel like they are not doing what is their best. So I would maybe say, let's try to mimic more the older sister and the younger sibling type relationship, but just be a loving older sister, but firm.
Yeah, that's nice, because even sometimes siblings fight and you want to keep it,
Exactly. But then it shouldn't never get to a level where they want to like stab each other or leave each other.
Yeah.
The common goal should always be to love and solve the problem and not each other.
Yeah.
Type thing. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we're all a family at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Nice.
We literally say that at the workplace, but we actually mean it.
Yeah,
We should.
That's another question, but yeah, I like the way you think. We should mean it. We should all be there for each other. Nice. Okay, so on your business, APDM, you've built a business that blends career services, creative media, and personal services. What inspired you to create something so multi-faced?
So what inspired me is mostly my person again, because when it comes to like media side, I really love writing stories. I love like taking pictures, videos, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And on the list of 1,000 things I love to do, that's one thing that I thought I could turn into a business and, share my talents while making money for it. Mm-hmm. And the way technology is evolving when it comes to the media world, it's very interesting to see the way it's evolving, especially nowadays. Like, it's super, super fast. And so that's a really interesting place I want to be. So that's why I turned it into a business. And when it comes to career services, again, at my level as a student, I'm pretty young as well. I still feel like what I know or what I studied is really important to people my age. And so turning it into a business inspires me to actually get better at it so that I can, give it in a more professional and an update side. Because if it simply stays at something I enjoy doing, maybe I might get lazy and not actually evolve in it. But making it a business pushes me to actually get better at offering those services to people. And so that's why I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do those 3 things and do them together.
That's great. Yeah, it definitely forces you to actually do the things day to day. And then you have someone to hold you accountable for
exactly.
it. Like, that's your client. That's
exactly. And you don't want to let them down. So you do your absolute best.
Nice. That's a really great way to learn. That's great. So many people have one core business focus, but yours combines HR related work, photography, and even hair braiding. How do you see these offerings connecting under a shared mission? I think you just explained that a little bit, right? Like kind of helping people and relaying your talents in a way that will make you better at offering them.
Exactly.
And I guess, how do you find technology helps you kind of bridge those gaps? Do you find it to be a tool that allows you to get better quicker, or, take care of some of the aspects that maybe you don't need to do since you're focusing on these other things as well?
That's a really good question. And I am definitely pro technology. Obviously, too much of everything is bad, but technology definitely plays a big hand in all these different careers. Because, for example, when it comes to media, writing a story, we definitely are the ones that prompt these, like AI tools, for example. We prompt them to create something, but at the end of the day, it takes like 2 minutes to prompt and then 10 seconds for it to come up with something that will help me to maybe have less of a writer's freeze. I don't know what they call it, like
writer's block.
Exactly, writer's block. It helps me like reduce that time, and it definitely also helps me gain some more ideas, because my idea put into AI can transform into a whole other idea that gives me another idea, so on and so forth. And it's like an infinite glitch, And when it comes to like career services, what I do right now is I've helped a lot of people to rewrite their CV. And though I personalize it in a way of, like they tell me what kind of jobs they want and all that stuff, and I go and do the research for the industries that they are in, well, it's AI that helps me do my research faster. So that way I'm able to actually service, like I can do 3 to 5 CVs in a day without feeling exhausted, and actually still give, some actually good service while putting in my own touch to really personalize it. So technology definitely helps manage many things at once. Like these, though they're so different from each other, technology all is like a middleman to help each of them. And so it's such a good thing for me.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, like you have to create the prompts as well. So by having all these different people come to you, you have to be able to cater those prompts and find that information regardless. So
exactly,
it's really developing your creative sphere, I guess.
Exactly.
Nice. So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in starting and growing APDM, and how did you overcome them?
So I am still definitely at the phase of starting and growing, but so far, one biggest personal challenge for me was to actually start, like get out my box, because I've never been the person that was always very outgoing. I've been really, really introverted and shy, I guess, maybe the factors of like different aspects of my life. But the moment I was like, there is a big difference in knowing and actually putting in the work. So I adapted the mentality that says start and you will fix it as you go. And so that's what I've been practicing for the past year and a half. And that's literally what I feel like probably brought me even here on set right now. So I would definitely say my biggest challenge was to start, because you always want to build this perfect plan because you feel like you want to miss loopholes or the holes, but you can't.
Yeah, nothing's perfect and you're always growing. Like,
exactly.
That's the thing. Like, once you get that momentum, I like it. You just keep moving.
Exactly.
Nice. So you started in broadcasting media and then you shifted towards HR and business management. What triggered that change in direction?
So when it comes to school, my first semester of college ever was in broadcast media, and it was really nice. It was really fun. You know, I'm doing something that I absolutely love and everything. But I came to a point where I kind of had to choose between. I had no choice, honestly. I don't know why I'm saying choose. I had no choice. I had to step back because I had like other responsibilities like rent and all those things that was really stressing me. So I had to take a step back from school and to take care, like find a full-time job and work and blah, blah, blah. And so during my 1 year away from school, that's when I actually started, you know what, I need to make a plan, but not a perfect plan, but somewhat of a plan. And somewhere within that plan was the importance of knowing how to manage myself. And so when I looked at the media world, media is mostly an independent business, because even if I get hired by like Canon, at the end of the day, I will be the one to take pictures. I will be the one to maybe write my film. So I will have to manage myself. And so that's why I was like, you know, I have to go into business then to learn how to do that and how to evolve my mindset. So that way I'm more, you know, outgoing because that's what makes the money, more kind because that's what keeps the money coming and all those things. And so that's what made this shift from studying broadcasting to studying business. But I still am practicing, you know, media and everything. But study-wise, I'm studying business, and that's the reason.
Nice. You're just getting those roots to make more money later.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think you already inherently are creative and have those skills. And now that you have all this other technology at hand, you'll be able to get better at media anyway. Right?
Exactly.
You know? Nice. So what kinds of projects or topics excite you the most in your media work right now?
So in my media work, what excites me the most is working with brands that are just starting, like clothing brands, or being like a community manager for different organizations, even ones that are, I don't know what's the term in English, like the one nonprofits, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Like nonprofits. I really like to work with them because that allows me to improve my skills without having the pressure of let's make money. Because if you are just starting, your main focus should be on to make as solid of a foundation as possible. And so me being there also helps me make sure that the service I'm giving you will create that solid foundation. And, you know, it's a good place to be, and to see those organizations like evolve later on definitely brings me like joy. So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's almost like you're fundraising by proxy, right?
Exactly.
Getting content out there to bring in their revenue. That's cool. Nice. So how do you balance following your passions while also building a practical and sustainable career path? I feel like your passions are, anyway.
Yes, that you're making a point, and that's a really good question. And like you were about to say, I turned my passions into my career paths. So that's way, I wouldn't say it's easier, definitely not, because like the main purpose of making it a business was so that it forces me to learn and actually get better at them. And so the one thing I use to manage it, or to keep the fine line between being passionate about it and it becoming a business. Because a lot of people, they're afraid of turning their passion into careers because they don't want to hate it at the end. And so me, what I do is, as long as, especially that I'm at the beginning stage, I do what I want. So I don't put the pressure on myself of being like, oh, I need to make the most money or I need to be better at this. No, I'm at a stage where I am like a sponge. So I'm learning. And in order to learn, I click on the video that I want to watch. I go to the seminars that I want to go to. I talk to the people that I want to talk to. So I am taking full control over what I'm doing for these things or what I'm doing to learn or how I'm making money off of these passions so that I keep the fun in it, And apart from that, I do go to school. So there's definitely a part of like stress there a little bit. But one thing that definitely helps me is keeping, again, a schedule. So I use the schedule not to like tell me what to do, but for me to have, again, somewhat of a plan. And as I'm going by the day, any adjustments, I definitely make the adjustments, but at least by having a schedule, I know on the schedule what is important to me and what I have to do. So that keeps me away from as much stress as possible.
Nice. And I guess it helps to like create boundaries at that point too.
Exactly.
It's nice to see everything and then think like, okay, well, I can't do this today because I still have these 3 things that I want to get done.
Exactly.
But nice. Okay.
And on the days when you feel like, I don't know what to do, look at your schedule. You have something to do. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. So looking ahead, what's one project or goal you're most excited to bring to life in the next year?
Definitely collaborating with more and more brands for sure. And I hope to create programs that actually encourage people as well to start up their own brands, knowing that they have somewhere that they can go for like guidance, because with my HR and business background, I can help them start that, because in business administration, we study law, like business law, we study HR. So I know how to look at someone and recognize talent and be like, okay, according to your organization, this person will be an ad, blah, blah, blah. So like do that for them and help them do that. And as a creative person, I can definitely be that community manager for them to manage their social medias and all that stuff. So all they will have to do is take their ideas, put them on a piece of paper, and we can run the work together. And I'm really hoping that that encourages more young people to go ahead and start their business, because like me, I learned the most as soon as I started, not when I was doing research or just sitting in my room jotting down ideas. I learned when I started. So I want to create a program that encourages young people to just start, and we are gonna fix it as we go. I was by myself most of the times when I was fixing things here and there, but they don't have to be by themselves because I will be there, So yeah.
That's so great. Yeah. Even sometimes when you have an idea, the first step is resistance when you try to put it into practice, and that can deter people. But moving past and then also getting someone that can support you through it is really important to have too. So that's great. So if you could redesign the way workplaces function from the ground up and bring to life, what would be your first change if you could restructure that?
Yeah. So I'm really big on foundation. So a foundation of every employee starts from probably the interview. So like how the interview happens. A lot of times when you do an interview, you are definitely stressed. So you're coming to do this interview with hope to get it, but at the same time, fear of not getting it. And so you want to be like picture perfect, for the person interviewing you and all that stuff. So my first thing would definitely be to work better on the interview process and the onboarding. So to not like swamp this person that you're simply interviewing with questions as if they were like the creator of the company or something, to make it more nice for them. And I guess in my mind, when I do things, right now, I'm thinking more of young people or people that are just getting into the workforce. Like newcomers, for example. Like, yes, he is a 40-year-old man, but he's coming here in Canada for the first time. He's from somewhere else, so he is also technically like just a baby getting into a new world. So just, being a little, or maybe probably a lot nicer to these young people and new professionals, and creating a space for them to actually feel like I can grow. Not, I have to jump from like 0 to step 100 to even get a chance of getting through the door. So that would be the first thing. And following right after the interview, if the person is selected, is the onboarding. A lot of times they would give like a 2 weeks intense training, and then they go ahead and give you a 3-month probation period. And to me, that it's not really equaling, because how in 2 weeks do you expect me to get all the information, but you are watching me closely for 3 months?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, because within those 3 months is where I will most likely make the most mistakes. I will most likely ask the most questions. But if you tell me, okay, after 2 weeks, I will leave you and just watch you, that pressure is enough to break even a talented person. So if I'm working for a company, even if they're like, okay, we only have enough funds to do a 2 weeks intense training, that's okay. But after during the 3-month probation period, just be a little bit more present for this new person, assist them, and don't talk to them like, hey, I'm watching you. More of it, hey, do you need anything? Is there something you want me to explain some more? And if I have old employees, like older than he is, then I will encourage them to be his help, so that when he wants help, he knows that, okay, even if my supervisor is not there, at least the other older employees will actually help me out with something. And that takes a little bit less pressure off him. Because most people at the end of the day, if we want jobs, the first thing we think of is money. So I will not just be quitting jobs every time because of how hard it is to even get a job right now. But then I don't want to live with the pressure, like going to work every day, hating it because nobody helps me. I feel alone. Nah, that's not cool. So that's definitely something that I look forward to bringing into the HR space.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when people have mentors, they're more confident, right? Do you think they should be incentivized to be a mentor? Do you think like the company should provide them some extra pay for taking more care of the newcomers? Or how do you think they should go about that? Or do you think people should just, anyway, I'll let you answer.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, there's a saying that says that HR doesn't work for the employee, but for the company. So, and that sentence is kind of a double-edged sword, because I do understand it from a HR point of view. Because yes, after all, I was hired by the company, but at the end of the day, I am the person on the floor with you. It's the same thing as a customer coming in and seeing like maybe a Tim Hortons employee. That Tim Hortons employee represents the whole Tim Hortons, right? Just like I, as an HR, represents the whole company to you, the employee. So the same thing, a Tim Hortons employee shouldn't, talk back at the customer because they say the customer is king. Though there might be some situations where clearly the customer is in the wrong.
Right.
Well, if we apply the same rules to the HR, then we clearly understand that the Tim Hortons employee isn't given more pay to take extra care of the customer. They go the extra mile, keeping the same salary. So should the HR. I shouldn't have to be compensated like $20,000 more to say hello to the employees every day.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So kind of, well, if the company is able, hey, I will not say no to a raise, but it's not something that I encourage to go in expecting.
Yeah, but I guess at the same time too, when people are actually happy at their jobs and they do feel like they're motivated because of their company and they do feel in line with the company values, they'll work better. When they feel more supported, they'll work better, and the company will make more money because of that, right?
Exactly.
So maybe it'll all kind of come full circle and come back into your salary, I think.
Exactly.
Nice.
But it all starts at the top. You can't start by the bottom. You can't ask an unhappy baby to shut up. You need to feed it.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I like that perspective. So in your experience, what's one underrated skill people need to thrive but rarely get taught?
I would definitely say public speaking. Public speaking is one thing that I had to learn how to do because, you speak English, but if you're in a crowd full of people with different opinions, how will you manage that? Or if you have to portray an information in a certain way to a certain group of people, how would you portray that? Because we don't speak in the same way. If I'm speaking to a bunch of children, I'm not going to say the same things I would say to a group of women or to a group of men or to a group of mixed people. I'm not going to have the same body language. I'm not going to have the same tone. I'm not going to speak at the same speed. So public speaking definitely has a lot of aspects to it. And I think like everyone should at least be taught how to, speak in public. So that's definitely one underrated skill to me.
Yeah, I guess that's like reading the crowd too.
Exactly.
Like being able to be receptive to the whole crowd's vibe or body language or see how they're receiving you and be able to change that on the fly. That would require, I guess, a lot of practice too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. But, good. That's a good skill.
Yeah.
How do you define success for yourself at this stage of your career?
So at this stage of my career, definitely define success as to remain a sponge. So learn, and also at the end of the day, taking opportunities when they are good and when they are presented to me, but also to the whole process of learning is that will also definitely be to know when to give up on an opportunity when it's not in your in your space or your way of doing things. So really building up integrity, honesty, and all these different primary skills that will help me as I'm growing into my career. So a day where I can sleep peacefully knowing that every single thing or action that I did, I am accountable for is a good day for me. I don't want to ever feel like, oh, I did this against my will or they pushed me to do it. This is not the stage where I should be doing all of that.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it goes back to following your passions. You do this because you felt like doing it. You went and saw this person because you wanted to. And I think that probably has something to do with intuition, right? You're kind of going where your intuition thinks that you will be fulfilled at that next step. Exactly.
And taking accountability for each and every one of those. And when you practice your 7 primary skills, then you should be good at the end of the day with that. So at this level, that's really what success to me looks like at the end of the day.
Nice. Staying accountable and learning and keep learning. Nice.
Exactly.
Cool. So one last question for the podcast. Has there been any one person that has changed your life direction or your life trajectory that you want to speak about?
Yeah, so the first person that comes in mind is my god brother. Because originally when I graduated high school, I had zero intention of even going to college, studying further, or literally anything. First, because my two last high school years were very, very difficult. So from the start, I wanted to take a mental break, but a mental break turned into I don't want to ever feel like that again. So let me just not do anything and just, find a regular job and do regular things. And when I'm older, I might have the strength to go to school and blah, blah, blah. I mean, people do it every day. But he kept on talking to me. And the one, I guess, perspective he gave me that changed my way of seeing everything is that he told me that school or going to college or university is more than just studying. It's about mostly being surrounded by people that want better for themselves and that have the privilege to do so. Because if you can go to college, if you can go to university, it's a big, big privilege because a lot of people can't for multiple reasons. So if you're able to do that, then you have the privilege to actually achieve your goals or to create new goals that you maybe didn't even know existed. Because simply looking at first like the majors that exist in universities, it's so diverse. Some people want to be doctors, some people want to study literature, some people want to become all these things, so it's like it's so much, and some of these things you maybe don't even know they exist, but there they are. And you can only know it if you actually go to college, because nobody just randomly goes and search on Ottawa website what programs they have unless they intend of going to school or they know somebody that goes to school. So now being in that environment will help you develop your brain. And so when he told me that changed my whole perspective on school. And so I was like, you know what, you're right. The dumbest thing I would do is to not see that, to not witness that. It's one thing to start school and then realize that I can do something else and drop out and actually go do something else, because a lot of people, they succeed that way. You don't have to graduate in order to be like, oh yeah, school helped me. Sometimes you go for a semester and a big idea pop and you drop and then you go. So I was like, you know what? Maybe that will be me. Maybe. But I have to go in order to see. And as soon as I started, that's when I realized that, damn, there is so much I could do with my life. There is so much I could be at the age that I am. I don't have to wait when I'm older to come here. I can do it like right now. And the crazy thing, I can go to school while still having a job. So I don't have to give up on one thing or whatever. And honestly, it's been like the greatest thing for me to know. And I'm so glad that I didn't miss out on that, because I truly believe there is so much I can give to the world. And I am knowing that because of the people I'm meeting in school and the other students, the professors and all those things. So it would definitely be my God brother. He changed my life for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. All it takes is one push and you get the momentum started.
Exactly.
Right? Going back to that notion. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.